Hello YouTube, welcome back to Greg's Gruns. Today we're going to be talking about AK Masters 2025. I think overall I did pretty well on this match, but stay tuned for the overall match results at the end. Stiff competition, as there always is at AK Masters. It's one of those matches that is everybody shows up for it, and by everybody I mean people from all around the country drive and fly to shoot this match. People who enjoy AKs and people who are just really good competitive shooters. They attend this match, and it's kind of become sort of a big deal over the years. I might give you my overall impressions of the match, sort of as I show you the stages of which, how I felt about each stage. Let's get right into it. It's going to be pretty self-explanatory. I shot this rifle for the first day, and then I had a bit of a little bitty accidenti, as Jar Jar would say. This rifle was essentially taken out of commission before I could start shooting the match on the second day. So day 2, I borrow my good buddy H-Town Werewolf, Rodrigo. He is one of the most solid guys on YouTube. He's super cool, really funny guy, really entertaining, fun guy to hang out with, and also he's getting to be a pretty good shooter, and he's got some cool guns, and he let me borrow his Arsenal SLR 106, which is 5.56. It's essentially the same as this gun, the 104 UR, but his is obviously in 5.56. So I shot that gun for the second half of the match, and according to the rules, you can do that. You can switch guns. I don't know why you would do that, but you can. His crank was set up. He was also shooting light irons, so just happened to work out that we both were shooting the same division, and he happened to have an extra gun because I was already at the match and I was going to shoot pretty soon, and then I had a catastrophic malfunction with this rifle, and I have a whole video about that if you want to check it out, what exactly happened. It was a very interesting malfunction that happened to make the gun completely unusable. So it's fine now. It's all fixed. I fixed the problem, and it's ready to go. If you're curious about that situation, go watch the other video, but let's get into the match footage.
RO group chat, and of course there ended up being like 30 different people's feet in there. Pointing at the nail. 1, 2, 3. Are you ready? 3. Yep. Stand by!
Okay, I hope you enjoyed that little comment about all the RO's feet pics by Mr. Joshua Poe. Anyway, this stage was the first stage of the match for me. It was stage 7, I believe, and I didn't really enjoy this stage that much. It was kind of knocking the rust off a little bit. I know I shot this rifle previously at another match, but for some reason I was just walking around with my thumb up my ass, kind of do a really slow reload here. Jeff makes fun of me. Just didn't feel like the best stage overall. Usually the stages that Josh ROs, I usually don't do that well, so I'm going to blame him on that.
Rifle's clear, range is clear, reset! Stand by!
Alright, this is stage 8, and in stark contrast to stage 7, this was probably one of my favorite stages, probably because it was one of my best stages. The iron sights on the Galil are just fantastic, and they're just even that much better on the South African guns. They're just really, really, really precise, and you can also be quick with them, but they're perfect for doing targets like this that require a little bit more precision. And the course of fire was pretty much shoot 2 paper out of one window, shoot 2 paper out of another window, engage the 4 steel through both windows. You got to shoot all the paper, of course, wherever you would like. I clean up the paper up from the tower here, and then engage the 4 steel again.
Now when you're ready.
All right, stage 9. Now, this was pretty fun. You started with the PSA Chinese copy of Spiker, like a Type 56 Spiker. You went over and bayoneted the hay bale and dumped it. It was a little squirrely getting it in there. And then you could either run on top of the berm there and shoot these paper, or run over to the left and shoot all of the paper. Well, shoot all the paper and the steel. The engagement order was up to you. I knew that my smooth brain couldn't handle mixing the steel and the paper, so I just shot all the steel, then shot all the paper, and then re-engaged the steel for a second time.
Shoot if you're done. Unload and show me clear. Good. Muzzle up, safety on. Ready?
All right, stage 10. This is my buddy Ray Churnside. He's a good dude, very good shooter. I kind of cocked this up a little bit by shooting one of the paper arrays twice, because I guess I just made a boo-boo and shot that array twice. Then there's a dead man target. Just empty your chamber, get into the Jim Bourbon, and reload, and then engage your static steel. I did kind of okay on this. Kind of wasted a few seconds on that extra array, shooting it twice, which is kind of frustrating, but I did okay on the static steel. I didn't crush this stage, but I also didn't bomb it. Okay, this was my worst stage of the match, and honestly it was kind of related to the RO didn't call my first hit. See, I got a hit there and he didn't say anything, and I was like, what the hell? You know, I've been in RO, I RO a lot, I get it. You know, he was looking down at the timer. He ended up taking a few seconds off, which is fine. It kind of messed with my head for the rest of the stage. And on top of that, I had an issue right there, and then I had a weird, like, double tap, and now it's out of battery. It ended up being ammo related, I found out. And yeah, so this was kind of just a shitty stage for me. Light irons could run that happens to be a 50 round mag, but you could load it to 40 rounds. Yes, I got a single hit there. And just kind of a shit stage for me. It would have been fun if I hadn't had any malfunctions and the RO was paying attention. Okay, we're on to day 2, and I'm using a different rifle. I'm using Rodrigo's rifle. This is the Arsenal I was talking about. It has a Putnik on it. Really a very nice shooting rifle. High quality gun, obviously. 5.56, low recoil. And also I'm kind of used to the shitty ass crank sights, so it wasn't really a big deal for me to shoot this gun. And I like this stage as well. It kind of, you know, throws you off balance a few times. Lots of wide open targets. Just a real fun stage. Good base stage.
Forward, weapon on.
Stand by!
Alright, stage 3. This is really fun. Kind of a different part of Clinton House that you don't usually shoot on. I thought I kind of screwed the pooch on this stage, but actually ended up doing okay. It felt really slow because I kept trying to use one of the ears of the front sight hood as the front sight, especially on the barricade. I kept picking up that front sight hood, and having to correct, but I guess I ended up doing okay. But it was super fun stage anyway. Another thing about Rodrigo's gun is that he only had 30 rounders, so I pretty much had to reload if the round count was over 30, which it was in almost every stage. So, but you know, not a huge deal. Yeah, so this was the only memory stage of the whole match. It was kind of a USPSA style. Luckily, the squad that I was on is pretty experienced, and we came up with the stage plan. Kind of helped you move less than maybe some other people. I screwed myself and ended up shooting over the top of those two no-shoot targets in the back there just because I was afraid of hitting them. And the confidence on my crank sight picture was not as high as it should have been. So I completely missed those two in the back. Kind of screwed my score. But other than that, you know, it is what it is. Alright, the shoot house. I'm just going to let you watch this one. It's pretty fun. Alright, so stage one, this is the last stage that we shot the whole match, and it's, you know, it's pretty straightforward. You engage those static steel from the left, the port, and then the right side of that barricade, and then you run down the trench and blast all the targets, and that's pretty much it. I just want to take a second to say that if you guys have an opportunity to shoot iron sights, or even, you know, any rifle with iron sights, like if there's an irons division at a match, you should absolutely check it out, especially if you're into older guns like I am. It's so much fun, and it's definitely a skill that you should have and you should work on. Irons are just super fun, and most people who shoot irons are old and they just shoot targets. You should definitely shoot a dynamic match with iron sights. It's really different. Very challenging, and super satisfying when you beat people using optics. Alright, here's where I tell you that I came in 4th in light irons, which it's better than I did last year, but it's not as good as I wanted to do. I was really hoping to place, you know, get at least 3rd in light irons, but I was pretty far away from the 3rd place guy. I think just a lot of mistakes added up overall, and like I was saying, there's a lot of really good shooters who show up here, so it's really stiff competition, and it's motivation for me to get after it for next year. This video is brought to you by Greg's Grips. This is definitely an American-made 1911 with actually American-made Carlo Walnut Double Diamond grips made by yours truly. Available at gregsgrips.com. Also, Hudson H9 or Daniel Defense H9 grips are available too if you have one of those and you want to beautify your Daniel Defense H9. I make walnut grips or any other kind of wood. Just send me a DM and I'll get you hooked up.
Nice grips. Oh.
Oh.